What if your nightly cup of tea could be the reason you're waking up groggy, foggy, and exhausted every single morning? That's not just dramatic. It's backed by research on sleep disruption and circadian rhythm damage. Just last month, I saw a 67-year-old patient. She was active, ate well, exercised 3 times a week. But she kept waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. for no apparent reason, and her mornings felt like walking through thick fog. It turned out the culprit wasn't stress or hormones. It was the innocent cup of chamomile tea she drank every night, thinking it would help her sleep. Today we're talking about something that affects millions of people over 60, and most have no idea it's even happening. What most people don't realize is that certain evening habits, even ones marketed as relaxing, can actually sabotage your sleep quality and leave you feeling worse in the morning. The reality is, after 60, our bodies process liquids, caffeine, and even calming compounds very differently than they did in our younger years. In today's episode, we're going to reveal 7 things you should be doing instead of drinking tea before bed to wake up truly refreshed, energized, and clear-headed. If you care about sleeping through the night, waking up without brain fog, and protecting your long-term cognitive health, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. This might be the most important sleep advice you hear all year. Let me explain why this matters so much, especially after 60. When you sleep, something incredible happens in your brain. Your glymphatic system, which is basically your brain's waste clearance system, kicks into high gear. It flushes out toxins, metabolic waste, and proteins like beta amyloid that are linked to cognitive decline. But here's the problem. When you drink tea or any liquid 1 to 2 hours before bed, you're setting yourself up for nighttime wakings. Your bladder fills, pressure builds, and even if you don't fully wake up, your brain comes out of deep sleep to signal that you need to go. Over time, this leads to fragmented sleep, reduced deep sleep cycles, and poor glymphatic clearance. Many people don't realize that waking up just once or twice per night, even briefly, can cut your restorative sleep by 30 to 40%. Studies show that sleep fragmentation is one of the leading causes of cognitive decline in older adults. When deep sleep is interrupted repeatedly, the brain doesn't get a chance to consolidate memories or repair cellular damage. The good news is, the habits we're about to share can help you sleep through the night without sacrificing the relaxation you're looking for. That's why the habits we're about to share are so powerful. They work with your body's natural rhythms instead of against them. Let's start with number 7, a magnesium glycinate supplement taken 2 hours before bed. This is a game changer for anyone struggling with restless legs, middle-of-the-night waking, or morning stiffness. Many people drink herbal tea at night because they're looking for relaxation. But the truth is, the liquid itself becomes the problem. When you consume 8 to 12 ounces of any fluid within 2 hours of sleep, your kidneys continue processing that volume overnight. After 60, kidney filtration slows down, but it doesn't stop. The result? You wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. with a full bladder. Over time, this can lead to chronic sleep disruption, daytime fatigue, and even increased fall risk when you're stumbling to the bathroom in the dark. Magnesium glycinate works very differently. It's a highly absorbable form of magnesium that binds to glycine, an amino acid that has calming effects on the nervous system. When you take it 2 hours before bed, the magnesium relaxes your muscles, calms nerve activity, and helps regulate GABA receptors in the brain. GABA is your body's main calming neurotransmitter. At the same time, because it's a capsule or small tablet, you're not flooding your bladder with liquid. Exactly. Studies show that magnesium deficiency is incredibly common in adults over 60, and low magnesium is directly linked to poor sleep quality, nighttime leg cramps, and even anxiety. I've had patients tell me they've tried everything for sleep: melatonin, valerian root, CBD. But when they switch to 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate taken 2 hours before bed, their sleep completely transforms within a week. To use it properly, take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate with just a small sip of water, about 2 ounces, around 2 hours before your target bedtime. Make sure to choose a high-quality supplement with no fillers or additives, and look for magnesium glycinate specifically, not magnesium oxide, which can cause digestive upset and isn't as well absorbed. One important note: if you're on blood pressure medication or have kidney disease, check with your doctor before starting magnesium. Start with 200 milligrams and see how your body responds before increasing the dose. Next up, let's talk about a breathing technique that replaces the ritual of sipping tea. Moving to number 6, the 4-7-8 breathing method. This is one of the simplest, most effective ways to calm your nervous system before bed without consuming anything at all. Many people drink tea at night as part of a wind-down ritual. The warmth, the slow sipping, the act of sitting quietly. It signals to the brain that it's time to relax. But here's why that's problematic. The act of drinking itself, especially warm liquids, can stimulate digestion and increase the need to urinate. After 60, your body's ability to concentrate urine decreases, meaning you produce more urine overnight. When you add liquid right before bed, you're essentially guaranteeing a nighttime wake-up. The 4-7-8 breathing method mimics the calming ritual of tea without the liquid. Here's how it works. You breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold your breath for 7 counts, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and digest mode. When you do this, your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops slightly, and your body releases calming neurotransmitters. That's right, Susaine. Research reveals that controlled breathing techniques like this can lower cortisol levels by up to 20% in just 5 minutes. Cortisol, as you know, is the stress hormone that keeps people wired at night. I tell my patients to do 3 to 5 rounds of 4-7-8 breathing while sitting in the same spot they used to drink their tea. It creates the same sense of ritual and relaxation without the liquid. The right way to do it is sit comfortably in a chair or on the edge of your bed. Place the tip of your tongue against the ridge of tissue behind your upper front teeth and keep it there throughout the exercise. Breathe in quietly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Then exhale completely through your mouth for 8 seconds, making a whooshing sound. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. Do this 30 minutes to 1 hour before bed, ideally in dim lighting. You might feel slightly lightheaded the first few times. That's normal. Start with just 3 cycles and work your way up to 5 as your body adjusts. Let's move on to number 5. And this one surprises a lot of people. Number 5. A teaspoon of raw honey taken alone 1 hour before bed. This supports glycogen storage in your liver, which prevents middle-of-the-night cortisol spikes that wake you up. Wait, honey before bed? Won't that spike blood sugar? That's what most people think, But the truth is, a small amount of raw honey, around 1 teaspoon, does something very specific in your body. It provides just enough glucose to your liver to keep glycogen stores stable overnight. Glycogen is stored glucose in the liver. When your liver runs low on glycogen during the night, it signals your adrenal glands to release cortisol and adrenaline to raise blood sugar. This is a survival mechanism, but it wakes you up. Over time, this can lead to chronic sleep disruption and morning fatigue. Raw honey contains fructose and glucose in a balanced ratio. The fructose goes directly to the liver and gets converted into glycogen without spiking insulin the way refined sugar does. When your liver has adequate glycogen, it doesn't need to trigger a stress response. This means you stay asleep longer, especially past that 2 to 3 a.m. window when cortisol-driven waking is most common. At a cellular level, raw honey also contains polyphenols and enzymes that support the production of melatonin precursors. Yes, studies show that stable blood sugar overnight is one of the most underrated factors in sleep quality, especially for people over 60 whose glucose regulation naturally becomes less efficient. I've seen patients who've struggled with early morning waking for years find relief within days of adding this simple habit. Here's how to use it. Take 1 level teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey directly from the spoon about 1 hour before bed. Don't mix it with water or tea. Let it dissolve slowly in your mouth. Make sure to choose raw honey with no added sugar or processing, ideally from a local source or labeled as raw and organic. However, if you have diabetes or insulin resistance, start with just half a teaspoon and monitor your fasting blood sugar the next morning. Some people may need to adjust based on their individual response. And never give honey to anyone under 1 year old due to botulism risk, though that's obviously not relevant to our 60-plus audience. Coming up, a surprisingly powerful mineral that most people are severely lacking. Number 4. A topical magnesium oil spray applied to your legs and feet before bed. This bypasses digestion and delivers magnesium directly to the areas that need it most. A lot of people don't realize that even if you take oral magnesium, absorption can be limited, especially after 60 when stomach acid production decreases. Topical magnesium is a game changer because it's absorbed directly through the skin. When you apply magnesium oil, which is actually magnesium chloride dissolved in water, to your legs and feet, the magnesium penetrates the skin and goes straight into muscle tissue. This is incredibly effective for people who struggle with restless legs, nighttime cramping, or that jittery feeling that keeps them from falling asleep. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes in the body, including muscle relaxation, nerve function, and the regulation of neurotransmitters like GABA. When magnesium levels are low, muscles don't fully relax, nerves fire more easily, and sleep becomes light and fragmented. The legs and feet have some of the largest muscle groups in the body, and they're also where most people feel tension or restlessness at night. By applying magnesium topically, you're targeting those areas directly. Exactly, Susaine. Research reveals that transdermal magnesium can raise cellular magnesium levels without causing the digestive issues that some people experience with oral supplements. I recommend this especially for patients who've tried oral magnesium and found it didn't help enough or caused loose stools. To use it properly, spray 10 to 15 sprays of magnesium oil onto your calves, thighs, and the soles of your feet about 20 to 30 minutes before bed. Rub it in gently and let it absorb for at least 10 minutes before putting on socks or getting into bed. Make sure to choose a high-quality, food-grade magnesium oil with no additives or synthetic fragrances. One important note: magnesium oil can cause a tingling or itching sensation, especially if you're deficient. This is normal and usually subsides within a few minutes. If it's too uncomfortable, dilute the spray with a bit of water or apply a light lotion over it after absorption. Start with 5 sprays and work your way up. Now, moving to number 3, and this one works on a completely different system. Number 3. 200 milligrams of L-theanine taken 30 to 45 minutes before bed. This is a powerful amino acid that promotes relaxation without sedation. L-theanine is naturally found in tea, especially green tea, which is one reason people think tea helps them sleep. But here's the thing: when you drink tea, you're also getting caffeine, tannins, and a large volume of liquid. Even herbal teas can contain compounds that stimulate the bladder or digestive system. L-theanine as a supplement gives you the calming benefit without any of the drawbacks. L-theanine works by increasing alpha brain waves, which are associated with a relaxed but alert state. It also boosts levels of GABA, serotonin, and dopamine in the brain. These neurotransmitters regulate mood, stress response, and sleep. When you take L-theanine before bed, it doesn't knock you out like a sedative. Instead, it quiets mental chatter, reduces anxiety, and makes it easier to drift off naturally. At a cellular level, L-theanine also supports the production of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is critical for cognitive health. That's right. Studies show that L-theanine improves sleep quality, reduces the time it takes to fall asleep, and decreases nighttime waking, especially in people over 60 who are more prone to stress-related sleep disruption. I've had patients tell me it feels like their brain finally has permission to turn off. Here's how to use it. Take 200 milligrams of L-theanine in capsule form with just a small sip of water, about 2 ounces, around 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Make sure to choose a supplement that's third-party tested with no fillers or additives. L-theanine is very safe, but if you're on any medications that affect neurotransmitters, such as antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications, check with your doctor first. Start with 100 milligrams and see how you respond before increasing to 200 milligrams. Let's talk about number 2, which is all about temperature regulation. Number 2. A cool, damp washcloth applied to the back of your neck for 5 minutes before bed. This lowers your core body temperature and signals your brain that it's time to sleep. Most people don't realize that body temperature plays a huge role in sleep onset. Your core body temperature naturally drops by about 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit as you prepare for sleep. This drop signals the release of melatonin and other sleep-inducing hormones. But after 60, thermoregulation becomes less efficient. Many older adults run warmer at night, experience hot flashes, or have trouble cooling down, which delays sleep onset and causes nighttime waking. When you apply a cool, damp washcloth to the back of your neck, you're stimulating the carotid arteries and vagus nerve, both of which run close to the surface in that area. Cooling these structures sends a signal to the brain to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and begin the cool-down process. This can lower your core temperature faster than waiting for your body to do it on its own. Over time, this simple habit can shorten the time it takes to fall asleep by 10 to 15 minutes. Yes, Susaine. Research reveals that even a small drop in core temperature can significantly improve sleep quality, especially deep sleep stages. I tell my patients to think of this as a manual override for their body's cooling system, which often becomes sluggish after 60. The right way to do it is soak a washcloth in cool water, wring it out so it's damp but not dripping, and place it on the back of your neck for 5 minutes while sitting or lying down. Keep the room slightly cool, ideally between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Do this as part of your wind-down routine, about 15 to 20 minutes before you plan to get into bed. If you find the washcloth uncomfortable or too cold, you can use a cooling gel pack wrapped in a thin towel. Just make sure it's not ice cold, as extreme cold can be stimulating rather than calming. And finally, let's talk about number 1, the most powerful replacement for tea. Number 1, a warm magnesium glycine drink made with just 2 ounces of warm water taken 90 minutes before bed. This combines the best of hydration, relaxation, and metabolic support without overloading your bladder. This is the ultimate replacement for nighttime tea because it gives you everything you're looking for: the warmth, the ritual, the calming effect, but without the volume of liquid that causes nighttime waking. Magnesium glycinate powder dissolves easily in just 2 ounces of warm water, which is a small enough volume that it won't trigger frequent urination, but warm enough to create that soothing, ritualistic feeling. When you combine magnesium with glycine in liquid form, the absorption is even faster than capsules. Glycine is a calming amino acid that lowers core body temperature, supports the glymphatic system, and promotes deeper, more restorative sleep. Magnesium relaxes muscles, regulates neurotransmitters, and stabilizes heart rhythm. Together, they work synergistically to prepare your entire body for sleep. At a cellular level, this combination also supports mitochondrial function and reduces oxidative stress during sleep. Exactly. Studies show that glycine improves subjective sleep quality, reduces daytime sleepiness, and even enhances cognitive performance the next day. Magnesium, as we've discussed, is essential for hundreds of processes, including those that regulate circadian rhythm. I've had patients who swear by this drink. They say it's become their new nighttime ritual, and they wake up feeling more refreshed than they have in years. To use it properly, dissolve 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate powder in 2 ounces of warm water, around 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. Not hot, just warm. Sip it slowly over 5 minutes, about 90 minutes before your target bedtime. Make sure to choose a high-quality powder with no added sugar, fillers, or artificial flavors. However, if you have kidney disease or are on medications that affect magnesium levels, consult your doctor before trying this. Start with 200 milligrams and see how your body responds before increasing the dose. Now, William, let's talk about why this matters so much for people over 60. Susaine, the reality is that sleep quality declines naturally with age, but it doesn't have to be dramatic. When you make small, strategic changes like the ones we've outlined today, you're not just sleeping better tonight, you're protecting your brain, your heart, your immune system, and your longevity for years to come. Sleep is when your body heals. If you're not getting deep, uninterrupted sleep, you're missing out on repair at every level. And that's exactly why we created this episode. If you've been drinking tea before bed thinking it's helping, you now know there are better, more effective options that actually work with your body's natural rhythms instead of against them. These 7 habits, especially number 1, the warm magnesium glycine drink, can completely transform your sleep quality and how you feel in the morning. If this information has been helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment and let us know which of these 7 habits you're going to try first. And if you know someone over 60 who struggles with sleep, share this episode with them. It could change their life. Remember, small changes lead to big results, especially when it comes to sleep. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.